I'm gonna read to you a part from my 2019 screenplay. It's that time again for the best moment of the week, the Dr. Natural appointment. I say, "Hey, Dr. Natural." Dr. Natural says, "Hello, Andrew." Andrew says, "Can I leave my appointment 10 minutes early? I don't want to miss the train back to Long Island." Dr. Natural says, "You're really OCD about this." I laugh, "Ha ha ha, yes I am." I say 5 minutes later, "As you know, I've had minimal sexual fun in my life. I was a virgin until I was 24 years old. The sex I have had was conservative and vanilla. And I'm having another sex drought. I haven't had sex in years. I feel like my mom has me in a metaphoric chastity belt and is preventing me from having sex." Dr. Natural says, "Your inability to meet women is internal, not maternal. It's social anxiety and agoraphobia." I say, "Maybe, but I'm chatting with women on dating websites. I want to go on a date with a woman who's 53 years old. She's a lawyer, but my mom shames me. She tells me it's not okay. I also want to go on a date with a woman who's 10 years younger than me, 21 years old, but my mom shames me and tells me it's not okay. I want to go on a date with a man, but my mom shames me and tells me it's not okay. And the women who are just right in their late 20s, early 30s, they want nothing to do with me because I'm a crazy, mentally ill freak." I say 5 minutes later to Dr. Natural, "I went into my mom's part of the house this morning to fill up my psychiatric medication, and my stepdad was being his usual miserable self. Keeping to himself, he clearly didn't want me around. It's like walking on eggshells being around him. I can't even talk to my mother without him being contradictory to everything I say. For example, if I say, 'Mom, what a beautiful blue sky,' if I say to my mom, 'The sky is beautiful and blue,' he'll interrupt the two-way conversation by saying the sky is purple." Dr. Natural says, "It sounds really difficult." I say, "It is. I think he has intense PTSD from the military. He is impossible to be around. It really affected me, and my mom did nothing about it. The home environment was chaos, so I ran and walked all day. I could have died. My parents were neglecting me." I say a few minutes later, "I accidentally dropped a single Invega pill on the floor. He told me, 'Don't drop your medication on the floor.' I felt like a deer caught in headlights. Am I allowed to do anything in this house?" So the emotional tsunami overtook me. I began getting rage-filled. It's since passed, but there was shouting, door slamming, my mom was threatening to call the police and my doctors. Now I just want peace again, but everyone's angry. 5 minutes pass. I say to Dr. Natural, "I often get strong feelings that my dad, Poppy, sexually abused me as a child." Dr. Natural says, "Think of it as a metaphor. He may not have literally sexually abused you." Interrupting, I say, "He may not have touched me, but he did sexually abuse me in a way. He'd bully me and gets sadistic sexual pleasure from my suffering, both in my childhood and now. You're wrong if you deny this is truth. It's truth." Dr. Natural says, "I don't know your dad, so I can't comment, but it doesn't sound like he's a sexual predator." I say, "I saw my dad this weekend for my birthday. He didn't take me to lunch. I had to beg him for $100 in cash, and he got me a bunch of shit I didn't want for my apartment as a gift, like Pop-Tarts, rice cakes, and chicken ramen noodles." Dr. Natural says, "That sounds like a disappointing birthday." I say, "It was very disappointing, to say the least. At least I looked at the chicken ramen noodles after he left and thought, is this way of calling..." I looked at the chicken ramen noodles he gave me after he left and I thought, is this his way of calling me a coward? Chicken is another word for coward. Did it have a double meaning? Was he mocking that I'm too afraid to stand up to him? My thoughts got out of control. Dr. Natural says, "This is predicate logic which stems from your rage and disappointment. He was literally getting you chicken ramen flavored noodles." I say, "It's silly that these thoughts get worked up from looking at chicken ramen noodles. He's just an absentee shit father, fact, not a sadistic sexual predator." Well, the next day I began to feel really sick. I threw up several times. I had a headache, a stomach ache. I had no energy at all. And all I want to do is sleep. I think I had food poisoning. I'm better now. I begin to fear, did my dad put ricin or poison in the food since I ate some of it? Is my dad trying to silence me? Then I begin to realize how insane and absurd I sound, and I'm back to normal now. My dad is lacking as a father, but he's not Satan. Then I say 10 minutes later to end the appointment, I was wondering, did the childhood bullies rape me as a child? Yes, they bully me every day at school, but I went to a sleepover where they bullied me all night long. Dr. Natural says even if they never got sexual with you, the bullying they did to you was sadistic, intense, and severe. It feels like sexual abuse, and this is what caused much of your mental illness. I often get paranoid that the swell boys hang out with the bullies behind my back. Basically, they're playing a joke on me. I just texted them, don't hang out with them behind my back because they really hurt me. They claim they haven't spoken to them since middle school. Dr. Natural says even if the childhood bullies didn't literally rape you, their abuse was so extreme that they metaphorically raped you, and your mind gets confused. I say I need to apologize to my parents. Through psychiatry, I learned that true sexual abusers, quote-unquote sexual abusers, metaphorical, are the childhood bullies.